Welcome to the Ninja News Show with the Angry Ninja. Alright guys, it's time for the Angry Ninja News. I discovered sound effects. Yeah. You might hear this more often. Because everybody should applaud for themselves. Because applauding for yourselves is awesome. Now, before we get into the news, I want to tell you guys about a new podcast on the Angry Ninja Network. What? A new one? Yes, a new one. A great one. So I lean left. A buddy of mine, Moonshine Jones, he leans to the right. And we decided to come together and do a podcast called Middle of the Road with Ninja and Moonshine, or Ninja Moonshine Middle of the Road. We're working on that, but it's done. If you search for Middle of the Road and Moonshine, spelled Moonshye and Ninja, it'll come up, I promise. And we're going to discuss things from both sides of you and try to see if we can meet in the middle on some of the stuff. Some stuff we won't. You can't agree on everything, but that doesn't make us less great. Now, to the news. What is the easiest job in the world? Lifeguard at the Olympics. But what if it's not? What if you have one girl in a pool, and this happened in Budapest, not in the Olympics, but still a national swimming event, not some little amateur hour thing, like we're talking professional swimmers, and she was doing something called an aquatic solo, which I guess is like gymnastics in water. I didn't know that was a thing, but whatever. I'm sure in the 90s I probably watched it and used it for the spank bank because, there was no internet. Anyway, I said that out loud. I shouldn't have said that out loud. Anyway, moving on. News. Okay, so she does her thing in the pool and overexerts herself, but she finishes because, lady's a soldier and she's American, and then she faints and starts to drown, floating into the water. And the American judge or American coach is like, hey lifeguard, you have one person in the pool to watch. Look. And the lifeguards are like, professional swimmers, we don't care. We're not paying attention. We're looking at girls in the crowd. Leave us alone. And so the coach, fully clothed, jumps in the water and pulls the girl out of the pool. The girl is recovering. She is going to be okay. But I'm like, you're a lifeguard. In a massive pool. And there's several. There's not just one. And there's one person in the pool. One. How do you miss them drowning? Like, one. Just one. And you missed it. You officially fail, and you get the ninja badge of shame for being a failure. Like, you miss, there's 100 swimmers in the pool, and you miss one, and they drown. Well, you were distracted. One. There's one. Only one. And thanks to her coach, who was paying attention, go coach, saved her. So, yeah, let's just, moving on. All right. So, January 6th hearings, biggest thing in the news. We're going to have to talk about it. But before we get to that, I saw a headline. I haven't read the whole story because it's a video story. And I don't feel like watching a video story right now. I'm more about a reading. But the headline got me. And look, I dig it. Mike Pence, he's running for president in 2024. He's planning on it. He's doing his rounds. He's doing his thing. He's doing what he's supposed to. He's out saying, look, Biden's messing up, blah, blah. And that's what you're supposed to. He's actually running a very clean campaign, but he's saying, hey, look, these are the mistakes. But this is something he said. And I'm just, this one got me. Talking bad about the person you're running against, saying you're going to do a better job, saying their policies aren't what you would want. All those things, perfectly normal. I'm perfectly okay with those. But this, wow. Mike Pence says no president in his lifetime has lied as often as Joe Biden. What in the ever-living hell are you talking about? We're having whole hearings about how much Trump lied right now. And you're really going to get on there and say, Biden has lied more. Dude, Trump did one speech, State of the Union, and they clocked it at 2 lies a minute. He lied so much, they had a minute rate on his number of lies. You worked with the most lyingest person, and lied about you. Specifically lied about you. Are you so afraid of Trump, you don't even want to call him out on his own bullshit? Really? Come on, man. Look, I'm not saying Biden's the most honest president we've ever had. None of them are completely honest. You won't be completely honest. That's not how being president fucking works. But at the same time, you're going to tell me Biden lied more than Trump? You go out in the woods and play hide and go fuck yourself with that shit right there. No. Trump was the lyingest president of all time. Trump wins. That's his badge of honor. That's what he gets. He gets the ninja badge of being a lying motherfucker. That's what he gets. And that's it. Like, if he wasn't such a liar and trying to win an election illegally, we wouldn't be having the January 6th hearings. Like, that's what he did. He lied. Like, he lied about dumb stuff, like how many people were in his inaugurational speech. Nobody really cared but you, dude. Like, Obama, for his first inauguration, had more people than you. It was more a historic event for a black person to become president than another old white dude. We've seen old white dudes be president before. Wasn't that exciting? Just saying. That's the way that worked. So yes, Obama had more. And the only person who actually cared about Obama having more was you. Yes, did you have more people at your inauguration than Obama's second inauguration? Well, yeah, because nobody watches the rerun. That's how that works. And the only reason you won president was because Obama couldn't run a third time. Because if Obama could have run a third time, you would have lost. Just saying, Trump. That's the truth. Obama did a decent job. As much as you railed against him, the economy actually was improving. Unemployment was down. Now you got it lower. Good job on that. Give you props where you deserve props. But it wasn't bad. It was already the lowest it had ever been. And then you got it lower. So, just saying. Obama wasn't that bad. All right. Moving on. Oh, here's my favorite thing. So, at least 6 GOP members of Congress asked the Trump White House for January 6 pardons, including Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I got one for you guys. If y'all didn't do anything wrong, why'd you ask for a pardon? Right? Dun, 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 dun. I don't have a sound effect for that yet, but I will. I mean, come on, guys. If y'all were so honest and so on the up and up, why ask for pardon? Same thing goes for the Trump attorney in this Eastman. He asked for a pardon, too. Because he's like, yeah, can I get a pardon? Can I? Please? Yeah. So, here's the list. Andy Biggs, Mo Brooks, Matt Gaetz, Louis Gohmert, and Marjorie Taylor Greene all asked for pardons because they, deep down in their heart, know they did something wrong. You don't ask for a pardon unless you know you committed a crime. Because if you didn't commit a crime, you don't need a pardon. That's kind of how that works. And I'm sorry, if Trump gets elected and pardons all these people, that's just ridiculous. I'm just saying, like, y'all, no, he needs to stop. The boy has got to go. Now, here's the big thing about the January 6th hearings that is absolutely everybody needs to think about. Trump's calling it a witch hunt. That it's a partisan effort to destroy him. It's all lies. He won the election. Blah blah blah. Same stuff over and over again. But here's the problem, Trump. Here's what you need to understand and realize and pay attention to. One, they try to make it a bipartisan committee with an equal number of Republicans and equal number of Democrats. They tried. Republicans refused to do it. So Democrats like, cool, we'll do what we can. We got 2 Republicans, we got 4 Democrats, and we're going to do it. Anyway, period. But I'll let you say that's bipartisan, sure, but there is Republicans on there being represented. You call them rhinos because they're not the kind of Republicans you like, but there's, different kinds of Republicans. Hell, there's log cabin Republicans, which are apparently Republicans who like the log up the... Anyway, which is fine. Whatever. You can vote whatever you want. If that's how you feel. They say Abraham Lincoln was gay. I mean, he could have been. I don't know. Not going to go back in time and ask. Don't care. Abraham Lincoln was a great president. And he did take a shot to the back of the head. Okay, that was horrible. Shot to the head. That one got me. So, not in the face. Anyway, and he didn't like theater. Oh, now look. You know what? And maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I would love to see Pete Buttigieg be president. I think he'd do a good job, and it'd be nice. Look, we can be accepting, because I really want the world to be accepting of everybody and be able to make jokes about it. That's the other thing. Accept everybody and be able to make jokes about it. That's the beauty of what I want the world to be. But all the people, this is where the partnership or bipartisanship comes in. All the people they have interviewed and talked to and done this and talked and evidence and everything has all been Republicans. So you're right, it is a partisan effort destroyed by Republicans. Democrats might be asking the Republican questions, but it's only Republicans answering. Your lawyers, Mike Pence's lawyers, all of them, Republicans. Ones that even said they voted for you and now regret the decision. The dude in Georgia, the Secretary of State in Arizona, Secretary of State in Arizona that you tried to bully, Republican. But they stood up for the Constitution and not you. Turns out being on the same team doesn't mean nothing if the people on your team want to be honest. It happens. And all of them, every one of them, all of them told you, Trump told you that it wasn't rigged, that all the votes were right. And you kept the lie going. It was a lie. And everybody told you it was a lie. And they even broke it down to you. The evidence they're showing is the thing. Each one of them told you, this is the reason it's a lie. This wasn't true. We investigated that. It wasn't true. We investigated it. It wasn't true. We investigated it. It wasn't true. Investigated it. It wasn't true. There was no fraud. We only found 4 dead people who voted. 4. You lost by 11,000. So 4 wouldn't have made a difference. And this is apparently something I didn't know. News to me. Happens in every single election. Do you know how dead people vote? I know now. I didn't know before this. The most common thing with dead people voting is when you're mailing an absentee ballot from like a nursing home, old folks home, or you're just old and you can't get out, you mail it in weeks early. Well, sometimes those people die before the election comes, but their vote's already been submitted. So, on the record, and apparently the system's supposed to catch this, but it doesn't always catch it. I'm supposed to kick out their vote. But they died. They cast their vote while they were alive, but then they died before the election. So their vote should be coming ballot. But still, it was only 4. And apparently something that happens every election. It's unavoidable. Because the people who are sick still deserve their chance to vote, just in the chance they get better. So, yeah, it's never going to change. So you need to stop. But yeah, all the people who are talking to them were all Republicans. And they're like, no. And the false state of the false electors you guys put up and literally try to get an attorney to give to Pence on the floor, and Pence's people are like, you do not give that to him. I don't want, no. So yeah. And dude, Kushner on this one, like, oh yeah, the lawyers threatened to quit, but they're just a bunch of whiners. No, when attorneys are like, look, we're going to quit because this is illegal. Maybe you should listen. And like this last hearing I listened to was the one on Tuesday where attorneys were really like, we just handed off to Trump's attorneys and we washed our hands of it. We said, nope, you're responsible for this. We're out. We're not doing this. So you're right, Trump. It's a partisan effort by Republicans to stop you. It's amazing. You probably won't end up in jail for this, but by God, I don't see how they let you get the nomination at this point. I wouldn't even let you run on the Republican ticket if I was a Republican with everything you did. And one more thing, and we're going to get a little serious on this one. I didn't know at the time, because I wasn't watching at the time, because I wasn't listening to your speeches at the time, because I knew you were lying, that you were actually putting the names of these people out there, their addresses, their phone numbers. Specifically, like 2 in Fulton County, Georgia. 2 volunteer election workers. Not the supervisor. Just 2 people who were pulling ballots out of a box, counting them, and putting them down as counted, like they're supposed to. It was a mother and her daughter. And you played a video of them doing this, but you played a small section of the video that you said it made it illegal, what they were doing, which they weren't. They were following the procedure for that area, which you didn't know because you didn't care because you were listening to Rudy Giuliani, who, when was asked for evidence of all the stuff he was claiming, didn't have any. He just knew. That's not how it works. You gotta have evidence. That's the way the American court system works. And you put their names out there. So people found their addresses, people found their phone numbers, and harassed them. And then on January 6th, broke into the grandmother's house. Grandmother wasn't even involved. She's just the grandmother, because they were going to commit a citizen arrest. Now, these women who were just helping with the election, volunteering, all had to go into hiding can't go out of the house in their area because your followers attack them, and you won't tell them to stop. Dude, you're a piece of crap. Like, I'm 100%. Like, those people are just volunteering, doing their job. There was no big lie. There was no election steal. You lost, and not by much, honestly. Like, respect for what you did, and honestly, when you run again, you might just win, but you can't win because you want to. You have to win because you earned it. And that's it. There was no fraud. There was no steal. You lost. Accept that you lost. Move on. And then come back and win again. Like, people like you. I don't know why, but people like you. You got a chance. So take it. Focus on politics. Focus on the stuff that people want to hear. Not hate and violence and all that stuff. Focus on bringing people together. If your election campaign is vote for me because we're going to own the libs, that's dumb. Because I'm going to let you know a secret. You're not just a president to the Republicans. You're a president of the Democrats too. And honestly, if you were to take what you can do with economics, because you did do good, and maybe tone down your anti-environment stuff a little bit. I don't care if you don't believe in climate change, but Lord knows we all want to breathe clean air. Like, I might have voted for you. Like, because you didn't do a horrible job with the economy. The economy was great. Everything was going good. The stuff I care about, you were actually taking care of for the most part, other than the environment. I was hoping we could work on that. But you could run and win. But let's not run on hate this time. Let's not run on trying to destroy other people. Let's not put people's private information, private citizens. We're not talking about other members of Congress. We're talking about two people who just volunteered to count votes. And they didn't cheat. People were watching them. They had cameras on them the entire time they were there, and all the camera footage got watched. They just did what they were supposed to do. And you destroyed their lives. And you don't even care. And that's why I could never vote for you. That's one of the reasons. You destroyed two normal people's lives who just were doing what they were supposed to. And let's just throw this out there. There wasn't fraud. There wasn't, even if there was, right? And these two ladies were just doing the procedure they were given to do and thought they were doing exactly what they're supposed to do and didn't know there was a big fraud going on, because that's how you keep fraud a secret. You don't tell the little people, because the little people run their mouths. As like what's happening with you right now, when all the Republican people are turning against you and testifying. They wouldn't have even known. They would just thought they were doing their job. And you destroyed them. Even though they did nothing wrong. Because there was no big fraud. There was no steal. But you destroyed these women's lives. And not just them. Like, all the volunteers and all the administrators and everybody in Fulton County quit because they're tired of being threatened. Because that's what your followers are doing. And not all of them. Some of your followers are awesome people. Some of them aren't. The ones threatening people who are just doing their job, they're all dirtbags. And you need to stop. You need to let them stop. You need to move on. All right. So, guys, that is the show for the day. What did everybody think? Think it was awesome? Yeah, everybody thought it was awesome. That's awesome. I appreciate that. All right, check out the new show, Middle of the Road with Ninja and Moonshine. You're going to like it. If you have any questions, hit me up, AskCman2342 on Twitter. Hit me the email, asktheangryninja@gmail.com. Hopefully, I'm going to be watching Multiverse of Madness this weekend, and we'll be reviewing that on the Ask the Angry Ninja show. So, yeah, we got stuff coming, stuff happening, stuff rolling. Everybody have a good week. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. It's all part of the Ninja Podcast Network with all the shows featuring Ask the Angry Ninja Show, Not a Kid's Game, presented by the Angry Ninja, which is our D&D podcast, the Ninja News and Politics Show, Sports Talk with the Ninja and J-Mo, and our newest podcast, Outrageous Stories with the Ninja, featuring occasional special guests. Great shows, great stuff. If you want to reach any of us, you can go at AskTheAngryNinja@gmail.com. You can reach us on Twitter, @CMan2342. You can get us on Facebook, on the Ask the Angry Ninja Show Facebook page. Any of those places, if you want to support us, we appreciate that. Go to patreon.com/worstjokes. And if you join high enough tier, you'll get a free gift. And we just appreciate any support and feedback. You guys have a wonderful night, and we'll holler at you later.